Hello everyone and welcome to Photo Finds. I'm your host, Gavin Hatch. This past week I spent a day at the Universal Orlando Resort checking out everything it has to offer for the holiday season. Now let's start over at Universal Studios in the Kids Zone area of the park at the Barney Theater. Now any other time during the year you can come to the Barney Theater and catch a day in the park with Barney, but during the holiday season they have a special show called A Barney Holiday. Now the show isn't too different from the original show that you can see all year long. They just add some extra songs such as Jingle Bells, Frosty the Snowman, Let It Snow, and We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Now throughout the show they still perform the Barney theme song, Down on Grandpa's Farm, and I Love You, as well as Mr. Knickerbocker. Now the Barney Theater is really nostalgic for me because it opened up in 1995 and I grew up with the Barney show and it's still on the air today, which is pretty cool. And what a lot of guests don't realize is if you have little ones, you can bring them here even when there's not a show because Barney's backyard is always open and it's an indoor playground with a really cool treehouse. Now Barney's not the only one who gets into the spirit of the season. The Blues Brothers also have a special holiday show that they put on every day in the streets of New York. And as you can see here, they even decorate their car. The songs from the holiday show include All I Want for Christmas, Santa Claus Rock, Run Run Rudolph, Blue Christmas, Snowman, which is Soul Man with different lyrics, and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now the day I was in the park was the first time I've ever seen guests actually going into the NBC Media Center. If you're looking to make some extra cash while on vacation, this is the place to go because they actually pay you about like $30 for an hour of your time to sit down, put headphones on, and actually watch a TV show that has not aired yet on TV. And you give, of course, your opinions and thoughts on the episode, and it helps them decide on what to air and what changes need to be made on the show. So NBC Universal owns a lot of different networks, so when you're here you might not be watching just a show for NBC itself. It could be for Chiller, Bravo, or one of their many other networks, even the Weather Channel. Now it's not open every day, but next time you're in the park, go ahead and check it out if you have some extra time. Now right down the street from the NBC Media Center is Williams of Hollywood, which is a recently added retail location that I finally got to see for myself. Without a doubt, this is the most unique store I've ever seen inside of a theme park. It's not going to be your typical retail location. You actually have antiques in here that you can buy and take home with you. But it's not just the antiques that makes this store unique. This is where you can buy set pieces and props from past attractions that have now closed at Universal Orlando, as well as different decorations that you'd find in all the old stores. As you can see here, you can buy the signage from the Aftermath store, which was closed when Twister closed. And speaking of Twister, you can buy the Wakita sign that was in the queue of the attraction. They even have some of the mannequins that were really creepy, but you found these in the stores during Halloween Horror Nights. Now there are a lot of things to buy in here, and Universal hasn't been that busy with constructing and closing down rides, so they have to get all this stuff from somewhere else, obviously. So when you're looking around in the store and you want to know if an item actually came from a ride or a store at Universal, take a look at the price tag. If the price tag looks like this and you see the Coop on it, that means this came from the Coop Antiques, which is a store in Oviedo, Florida, which isn't too far away from Universal. Now this is my first time back at Universal Studios since they started demolition on the Twister ride building, and as you can see here, it has a lot of exterior work that has been done. Now this space will be home to the new attraction that's opening up in 2017 called Race Through New York, starring Jimmy Fallon. And as you can see, the logo for the new attraction has been placed on the construction walls, as well as cutouts of Jimmy Fallon himself. I'm personally really excited to see what they do with the space and how they change the building, but 2017 does seem so far away. Now the soundstage that will be home to the new attraction is actually right next to the Music Plaza stage inside the park, which is home to the Mannheim Steamroller concerts that are held during the holiday season. The concerts are free and included with admission to the park and are held on Saturdays and Sundays and start at 6 o'clock. Up in the front of the park at the store that is home to Betty Boop and which will now be also Hello Kitty has made some real progress, and they've actually added some stuff to the construction walls there as well. As you can see here, they added a cutout of Betty Boop, which I guess is Universal's way of telling us that she will be returning to this store. But also, that's now official that Hello Kitty will also be coming to this location as well. Now this will be the first time Hello Kitty has been featured at Universal Orlando, but she actually can be found over at Universal Studios Japan, has been there for quite some time. Now they got pretty creative with how they placed her on the construction wall. They photoshopped Hello Kitty into classic Universal movie posters, such as Jaws and E.T. Now, as of right now, there is no official opening date for the store and no details on exactly what will be going on inside, such as if there will be meet and greets with the characters. Now, over in the San Francisco area of the park, in front of what used to be Disaster Studios, there is new entertainment offerings. The new street entertainment features 2 acrobats, 2 jugglers, and 8 MC. Altogether, they put on an impressive and very entertaining show with great music. This is now the 4th street entertainment to be added on recently. There's also Sing It and Beat Builders, as well as Street Breakers. Alright, so no visit to Universal Orlando for the holiday season would be complete without catching the Macys Holiday Parade. It's been a tradition here at Universal for a number of years, and it gets better every year. The first big change I noticed in this year's parade is the music. They actually changed the entire soundtrack for the whole parade. Here you can see the inflatable Tom the Turkey float. This is CJ the Elf, who is kind of like the mascot for the Macys Holiday Parade. Now, one of my favorite balloons is the giant hippopotamus, and it's my favorite because I love that song, I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas, which actually was released in 1953 and was sung by a 10-year-old at the time, Gayla Peavy. Now, for a number of years, that song was played all throughout the park during the holiday season, but this year I noticed that it was not played at all. Now, every year the Simpsons family makes an appearance as they drive down the street. But I was very surprised to see SpongeBob SquarePants in the Macys Holiday Parade, and as you can see here, he was on the float that usually has a family on it, but I guess they couldn't find a family that day to put onto the float, so they put SpongeBob there very last minute. Now this year they have a number of new balloons. The first one is this really long caterpillar. My favorite balloon though this year is going to be the giant one that is a string of Christmas lights, and they actually have real lights inside each bulb, so it looks like they are turning on and off. Now the Macys Holiday Parade ends with Santa Claus at the giant Christmas tree in front of the Macys facade and over by the Mummy roller coaster, and he actually lights the Christmas tree with holiday magic. Now Universal Studios is not the only place that's celebrating the holidays. At Islands of Adventure right next door, you can go experience Grinch Myths. That's where you can actually meet the Grinch himself and see who's running around the entire Seuss Landing area of the park. But the centerpiece of Grinch Myths is the Grinch Myths Holiday Celebration, which is a show inside of Soundstage 20 and is performed almost every hour all throughout the day. Well, that does it for this edition of Photo Finds. Feel free to leave a comment below and give this video a thumbs up. And as always, make sure to subscribe to Orlando Attractions Magazine. If you want to learn more information about holidays at Universal Orlando, check out the most recent episode of Florida E-Ticket here on this same channel. And as always, get out, have fun, and enjoy the parks.